There are 5.3 million people affected by Alzheimer's disease in America. It is the 7th leading cause of death, and there are 10.9 million unpaid caregivers, mostly being family.
I think it's good, but I mean, I know telephone numbers and my car and everything else, but sometimes it gets blurry.
My memory? I think it's pretty good, but important things I don't seem to remember. If I could, I would be out of college.
I was in denial about how bad the Alzheimer's was, but I saw it progressing. It was getting worse. He was sleeping more and more. He was just like out of it sometimes.
My dad was able to do everything, and now he's able to barely care for himself.
William and Harvey are just 2 of the 5.3 million people in the United States living with Alzheimer's disease, according to the Alzheimer's Association, and a new case is diagnosed every 70 seconds.
Alzheimer's disease is what we call a progressive neurodegenerative disease, and that's just a fancy way of saying that cells in the brain, or neurons, are dying because of a disease process.
While no one really knows what causes Alzheimer's, some of the signs include impaired memory, restlessness, language deterioration, emotional apathy, impaired behavior, and confusion.
And the family is great. We had 2 sons, and one was a PhD, and I can't remember the other one.
My father, he used to own a gin mill, then he went into the butcher shop business, and he also delivered beer and soda around town and people working for him. It was an interesting life. He made it interesting, so did my mother. And they're still both around too, and I'm 92 years old. How about that?
If memory changes lead to real functional problems, people are not recognizing people that they've known for years. People are forgetting how to get to places they've gone to for years. Or people just aren't able to remember things that they used to be able to remember, to the point that it's affecting their ability to live their life, to carry out their daily tasks. That's when it's time to seek the help of a professional.
That's when Linda decided she needed some assistance.
People would come to the house and he would just let them in. Strangers, perfect strangers, he would let into the house. And they would stay for hours. And I would worry that they'd be walking around my house, checking it out for later, or possibly taking things, or I didn't know, he was signing contracts for services that we didn't need.
Now Linda takes Harvey to a special day center for Alzheimer's patients, where he spends time with his new friend William and a dozen other patients. Both men are living more stimulating lives as the day center helps them to adjust to their future.
There are many studies proving exercise can delay or prevent the onset of Alzheimer's disease. One study from the University of Illinois has shown that older adults that exercise just 3 times a week for at least 15 minutes had a 40% reduced risk for developing Alzheimer's disease.
With millions of people with Alzheimer's disease, researchers are looking for interventions that may delay or actually prevent the development of dementia.
There might be simple lifestyle factors which actually could help to delay the onset of dementia and its most common cause, which is Alzheimer's disease.
Nicola Lautenschlager is a psychiatrist specializing in old age. She and her colleagues at the University of Western Australia look at about 170 men and women ages 50 and older. These people reported decrease in memory but didn't have dementia. They were randomly assigned to 2 groups. One engaged in a moderate exercise 3 times a week for 6 months. The other group was not instructed to exercise in any particular fashion.
physical activity made a difference. So those who did the program had a better memory and a better cognition at the end of the intervention after 6 months.
The study appears in this week's Journal of the American Medical Association. The participants were given cognitive tests to assess memory. Those who were in the best physical activity scored higher, had better memory even a year after the intervention stopped.
What we don't know is, at this point of time, what the mechanism is underlying this effect.